Hello everybody, welcome back for another video. Hope you're all doing well and that you're all having a great day. Very big thank you to everyone out there who leaves a like on every video or who leaves a comment. It does help out the channel immensely. Thank you to everyone who is a clicker of affiliate links. Welcome back to another News I Missed, where I go over news I missed. It is the holiday season. I am essentially taking a break, but I'm still making sure that there is content and that there is news and videos for everyone out there so you don't miss a thing. And without further ado, let's jump right into it. The meme-inspired cryptocurrency Shiba Inu has been adding over 600 new wallets per day so far this month, even amid an ongoing bear market in the cryptocurrency space that has now lasted for over a year. That's the craziest part in the entire world, when you realize that it's actually been over a year. I read an article a couple of days ago that was discussing something along the lines of, this is the longest time in Bitcoin's history that Bitcoin has been in a negative downtrend. The entire idea of the article was basically, historically, when prices are going down and we see that they're down for an extended period of time, it usually means that the bounce back up is going to be phenomenal, if you will. This happened two other cycles that we previously had before, where people were like, okay, Bitcoin should be down around this many days. It extended it. It kept on going down further, and then the movement upward of every other cryptocurrency was also something incredibly spectacular. So that's just currently where we are. According to data from Ethereum blockchain explorer Etherscan, as first spotted by Finbold, the number of unique addresses holding Shiba Inu on the blockchain has grown from around 1.25 million earlier this month to over 1.258 million at the time of writing. The figure shows SHIB has been adding well over 600 new holders. It says hodlers, but sure, why not, per day. The figure is down from around the 1,500 new wallets earlier this year, as the slowdown in the cryptocurrency space has been affecting trading volumes and retail investors' interest in the space. But I mean, 600 new ones is still something absolutely spectacular. Like, thinking of the idea of Shiba Inu is a meme coin. I assume that there are other blockchains and stuff out there as well that are probably, and I air quote here, only adding 1,000 new wallets or whatever per day. That's still 365,000 new people who are joining that blockchain over the course of a year. Like, these metrics are very, very important when you talk about the actual strength and usage and like how much money is actually flowing through these chains. So Shiba Inu is incredibly popular. If you saw the other videos, maybe sometime in summer, also maybe the beginning of winter of like January, we had a lot of news about like which coins were the most popular. And lo and behold, this coin, seemingly coming out of nowhere, has captured the minds and hearts of people all around the world. It's Bitcoin, Ethereum, Dogecoin, Shiba Inu, XRP, and I believe Cardano are the 6 most popular coins, at least within North America and Europe and parts of Asia. Yeah, that's the Shiba Inu. Listen, that's still amazing. 600 new addresses per day. Pretty gosh darn good. Yeah. Let's move on. Also in the news, Binance US, an American subsidiary of Binance, I would have never guessed that one, is now allowing its users to trade ADA against the USD coin, according to a recent announcement. In addition, Cardano's rival, sure why not, Solana, can also be traded against the second biggest stablecoin as well. I assume that's USDC. And I assume that they're doing this because normal Binance, the one that's available everywhere else except for the United States, delisted every other stablecoin except for Binance's stablecoin. So I assume that the Binance US one, maybe there's some type of monopoly rule or law that you can't do that. So this is why I assume there's more pairings for these coins now as well. Binance US noted that the two cryptocurrencies aim to achieve scalability, interoperability, and sustainability. There's a lot of abilities there, As reported by You Today, Binance US also added support for ADA staking in early September. Cardano and Solana occupy the 9th and 18th places by market cap, respectively, according to data provided by CoinGecko. And here's the tweet for it right here. It says trading is now live for Solana and USDC and ADA to USDC on Binance US. Trade Solana and ADA for USD, USDT, BUSD, BTC, and now USDC. That's a crazy sentence. Imagine trying to say that sentence to two things. Imagine saying that sentence to someone who knows nothing about crypto, or imagine 20 years ago having a conversation with someone and you said that sentence out loud. They would think something is the matter with you. Yeah. So Solana and Cardano have now been added to Binance US's trading pair on USDC. And it says earlier this week, ADA, Polkadot, and Tezos were also listed on BitMEX as well. So that's cool. Extra liquidity for those coins. Yeah. I was going to say hope it works out well for them, but I know that the amount of people who love these coins really love them. And when, my opinion, we have the next bull run, the optimism and love for these coins will not fade. So I assume this extra pairing will only do amazing things for the liquidity of these coins. Alrighty, let's move on. Oh, no, wait. This one, yeah, also in major, this was gigantic news. Blockchain protocol Algorand rose by 3% on Tuesday when this came out, as the Layer 1 technology was selected to be the blockchain to support a digital guarantees platform in Italia. Algorand was trading at yada yada, that's the price. Algorand has joined, here we go, the Bank of Italy. Yes, you heard that correctly. Algorand has joined the Bank of Italy and the Italian's Insurance Authority, IVASS, at an event hosted by the Research Center for Technologies, Innovations, and Finance, CETIF, in Milano on Tuesday to demonstrate how bank and insurance guarantees can be issued on blockchains, according to a statement. A bank guarantee is a type of financial backstop that's offered by a lending institution where the lender ensures that the liabilities of the debtor will be met. Let me make one thing abundantly clear. You know how the last 4 or 5 years, when I say pay attention to the coins that have real, strong, crazy news partnerships. Years ago, I remember it is crystal clear. There were so many coins that were being thrown my way, people telling me in the comment section, yada, 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 these coins are going to be amazing, this was going to happen, and I kept on saying, if you look at the news, it's mainly only certain coins that keep making it into the news. Look for patterns for other coins that are constantly being thrown into the news in some sort of way, because something very big is happening with them. The news that Algorand, first of all, I understand that we are in a bear market. Prices are down. They're not as high as they used to be. But if you get news that Algorand has partnered with the Bank of Italy and the Italian's Insurance Authority, and that doesn't get your gears moving, I simply do not know what else will. And just wait for the other news that comes directly after this one as well. And to clear things up, because I know someone's being like, yes, I am buying Algorand and I'm going to be buying a lot of it. That is not financial advice. A lot of the things that I have purchased in the cryptocurrency space are not doing well right now because of the market. Do not buy anything that, especially nothing that I am saying, especially if it might go down by another 50%. News like this solidifies very quickly any blockchain in my mind, because we heard Algorand news before, especially sometime last year. People were hyping up, it's going to be amazing, but I hear that for so many coins. We had news quite recently. If you watch my videos on a daily basis, I do thank you. The other part was we heard from one of the chain analytics companies who's always looking at stuff happening within the space, and they mentioned that I think there were, was it 500 or something like that new scam coins every single day were created this year alone. They said it was something along the lines of 117,000 new scam coins had popped up. That number is absolutely ridiculous. And more so, you need to really pay attention to where you have your money, what you're doing with your money in the cryptocurrency space, and stop following these brand new hypey coins that come popping out. But on the other side of that, after a coin has been around for a certain amount of time, larger entities quickly began to take notice, and these are the coins that end up going on my radar. I usually need about two in this instance, it's just one. Really big things that are taking place for me to go, something else is happening behind the scenes with that blockchain. I.e., hear me out here. Ethereum is the largest blockchain that we have, the most used blockchain on the planet. There's, I think, thousands of apps, thousands of dApps, thousands of websites, literally websites, and all these other things and domain names built on top of it. And there's, I think at this point, it's millions of NFTs have also been issued on top of Ethereum as well. And when you look over and the Bank of Italy is using Algorand, that always tells me, this is me personally, that behind the scenes, this was obviously planned, but I mean, like, think of it. Someone behind the scenes probably has their money in some cookie jar with Algorand, because that's a very, and I air quote here, random chain to choose. You would normally assume that they'd be choosing Ethereum, or they'd be choosing a sidechain, or they'd be choosing Polygon. Algorand is a very specific choice and a very specific coin name for them to be choosing. I don't know what the current price is. I don't know how much I'm going to be buying, but it's going to be an amount that I'm going to be a little bit scared of, because I'm going to look down and be like, oh, I didn't know that I was actually buying that much. Just being honest with all of you. The new platform is expected to come into force in as early as 2023 and will be the first time a European Union member state has enabled the use of blockchain technology for bank and insurance guarantees. They said, we selected Algorand because of its unparalleled level of innovation and security among permissionless distributed ledger technologies, as well as because of its leadership in sustainability. The move is part of a wider initiative rolled out by the EU, dubbed the EU Recovery Plan. That's a little dark. While the EU allocated roughly $200 billion to Italy, the program was launched to boost economic recovery following the Coco Roro. Yes, as you might have imagined, this was incredibly popular news. For those of you who might have missed out, it says Algorand to support bank and insurance guarantees platforms in Italy. Algorand rises as Italy selects for digital guarantees. When you talk about the adoption of the cryptocurrency space, and more so years ago, one of the main ideas was, when you see government adoption, that's, dude, we won. Like, there's no real contesting it anymore. If they are choosing to use something that is, and I say decentralized, as opposed to a system that they could have made themselves, this is what always leads me to believe that these governments aren't as flip-floppy on crypto as they would like everyone to actually believe. I'm pretty sure they know exactly what's going on. And also, more so, a lot of times when we do hear about, like, parliament members in these countries owning cryptocurrencies, it's usually a lot. They usually own a lot of crypto, for those of you who missed out on that. For those of you who did not see this news earlier this year, it says FIFA has announced that they have partnered with, guess which coin? Yep, with Algorand. Yeah, I think a lot of people missed that news. FIFA has teamed up with blockchain technology company Algorand to agree to a sponsorship and technical partnership deal. The agreement means Algorand will become the official blockchain platform of FIFA. Algorand will become the official blockchain platform of FIFA and provide the official blockchain-supported wallet solution for FIFA. So there's also news around this as well. I think FIFA is planning on launching next year NFTs. Basically, no one knows what they're going to be. They may just be like playing cards or something along that line, or it could be like what do you call it? The thing that the basketball people were doing, where they have like clips of really famous, popular moments and stuff like that. But those NFTs are also going to be issued on Algorand as well. So I think this blockchain is going to have a very interesting, successful future. Because if this is the news that we're getting now during a bear market when prices are down, I assume a lot of other big players are also paying attention. And I assume next year we're probably going to get at least 2 or 3 more big names over the course of the year who are also using it. Wow. For those of you who are not looking at the screen or are looking at it, the address of FIFA is up here. It's literally called FIFA Straße, which means FIFA Street in German. They named the street after FIFA. Anyway, that's the FIFA is going to be using Algorand as their main blockchain. And the Bank of Italy is also going to be using Algorand as well. You can't convince me anymore. Like, I'm already convinced. I'm buying it. All right. Let's move on. Also in the news, Grayscale's Bitcoin Trust, or GBTC, shares have hit a record high discount relative to the price of Bitcoin, pushing past 50% for the first time after the US SEC reiterated its reason for denying an application to convert the world's largest Bitcoin fund into an exchange-traded fund. So the flyover information is, since around 2014, people have been trying to get a Bitcoin ETF within the United States of America. It is now the last country to still not have one. Everywhere else in the world who wanted one, they all have a Bitcoin and Ethereum ETF. Because the US SEC does not allow a Bitcoin ETF within their borders, the company Grayscale, which was quite big before, became one of the largest holders of Bitcoin on the planet. And through this, they created a Bitcoin Trust, which I believe is registered with the SEC. It allows people to be able to buy a portion of the trust or a stock in the trust. I don't know exactly what it is. And this equates to them also technically holding Bitcoin as it is part of the trust. Over the course of the last couple of years, we have seen that they have an Ethereum trust, a Litecoin trust, there was an XRP trust, you name it. Some of the biggest coins had a trust with them. There were like reallocations and some of them became smaller, but the entire idea is that Grayscale is mainly a Bitcoin company, if you will. Part of the issue is that they've tried for a Bitcoin ETF over the course of the last 3 years, and I mean like really, really tried. They even have a lawsuit against the SEC because there is technically no reason why there should not be a Bitcoin ETF in the United States at this point. Everywhere else had them. We were told back in 2016 and 17 that due to market manipulation and Bitcoin being for criminals and Bitcoin being for this and Bitcoin's only used for that, yada, 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 that this is the reason why America can't have a Bitcoin ETF. And then other countries got them and they still haven't collapsed, at least as far as I know. So Grayscale's Bitcoin price or their shares usually actually had a premium because people were buying so many of them, and it basically was an easier way to get hold of Bitcoin or like an institutional way to get hold of Bitcoin. Not sure exactly what people were thinking. But since they've been rejected so many times and the price of Bitcoin has fallen due over the course of the last year, the prices of their shares of the Grayscale Bitcoin Trust have also fallen as well. But it's half the price of what Bitcoin should currently actually be, and that's the weird discount part. Crypto analysts have said that the discount would likely close if the conversion went through, since the redemption phase process available for ETF market makers would likely cause the shares to trade back towards the price of the actual underlying Bitcoin. They've been trying to work with the SEC to simply get their Grayscale Bitcoin Trust converted into an ETF, because by all means, it already is an ETF, simply without the name. That's what a lot of people didn't understand and got quite hyped about over the last 2 years, because they were like, they're not allowing a Bitcoin ETF by letters, but the Grayscale Bitcoin Trust is essentially already a Bitcoin ETF. In the past couple of hours, the discount has since pulled back towards 48%. GBTC, which is managed by Grayscale Investments, was designed as a way to let investors in traditional markets gain exposure to Bitcoin, the largest cryptocurrency. currency. The weirdest part is, I said it before, same exact thing with Bitcoin futures. Like if you want Bitcoin in your portfolio, just simply buy the Bitcoin. And now the shares of the Grayscale Bitcoin Trust and Grayscale invested in Bitcoin, the shares of it are now half the price worth of an actual Bitcoin. So these investors would have just been better off if they had just purchased Bitcoin. So the Grayscale Trust discount continues to rise or lower depending on how you're looking at the actual numbers. It's a really interesting situation because I'm surprised that, I was going to say, I was wondering why Grayscale hasn't left the US and gone somewhere else, but I assume they're tied to the hip to the US SEC, so they probably cannot do so. I think the only saving factor for them is when Bitcoin rises again, they have to hope that that discount also does the exact same, because I assume a lot of billionaires are going to be a little unhappy. They should have just bought Bitcoin. Imagine buying a paper version of Bitcoin and then being upset when it's worth half the amount of what you should have purchased before. There's a reason why. Okay, that's the Grayscale discount. Continues to rise. Yeah? Let's move on. Also in the news, the Central Bank of Brazil plans to introduce a central bank digital currency by 2024. Bank President Roberto Campos Neto, long name, said at a conference hosted by Brazilian news site Poder 360, on Tuesday, the bank will be conducting a pilot program working with some financial institutions before starting wider use of the central bank digital currency. A digital currency issued by a central bank, Campos Neto said. He said, "I think that this digitized, paid-in, integrated system with inclusion," listen, don't get ahead of yourself, "will help a lot of people in development and inclusion of people in the financial world." That one sentence has so much to unpack. One, Brazil has been at the forefront of accepting Bitcoin within the country. They have been one of the very few places who have made sure that Bitcoin is present, it is legal, you can use it, you can trade it. There are a number of cities in Brazil, Rio de Janeiro being the most popular one that made it into our news, who announced that they are going to be having some of their city's treasury also denominated in Bitcoin. It's a major move. It's absolutely spectacularly large. The entire idea of a central bank digital currency being inclusive is a little bit laughable because, for those of you who don't know, one, banks don't like us. Two, banks don't like poor people. If you have ever watched a documentary on the wealth disparity or separation between the haves and have absolutely nothing within Brazil, it's quite stark. I don't know if you've ever watched a documentary. I'm telling you, you need to see what the rest of the world is like so you have a better understanding of a lot of the stuff that I'm saying. Like, you may have heard about it, but watch a documentary so you really understand what's happening. The idea why I chuckled on the word inclusion is because the Brazilian government has a very long history of not including people who they pushed out, natives and other things of the sort. So I would love to see this central bank digital currency not only launch, but actually be inclusive to the around 10-15 million people in the country who are essentially not allowed to be a part of the financial system. That would be that'd be a good one. Many other countries around the world have already begun to launch their central bank digital currencies, but the problem is that no one's using them. So there's a gigantic country, and they're beneath Russia. They have launched their central bank digital currency about a year and a half ago. But the issue is that people there also aren't using it. People are encouraged, that's the word, encouraged to use the coin or spend with it because you get discounts, you can do this with it. But they also keep having to airdrop it to people or give it away to people in red envelopes because no one's actually using it. So we've had about 3 or 4, 5 like major central bank digital currencies already begin to launch, but no one actually wants to use these things. In March, the country selected 9 partners to help it develop a digital currency. When the central bank digital currency is issued, Brazil will join the Bahamas, Nigeria, Eastern Caribbean, and Jamaica as nations that have, and China, hello, like what are you missing? That have already issued their own central bank digital currencies. Dozens of countries are exploring the technology, and some have become only more determined, there we go, to start using it as a risk-free alternative to crypto. Please shut up. I hate hearing stuff like that. It's always the most corrupt people who have ruined the entire world and have destroyed all the financial systems are always the first one to stand up and be like, oh, no. We're doing this for you. The idea of a central bank digital currency has to do with inclusion. It's for everyone. Everyone has a smartphone. You can all use it. The idea is control. They want to control and know where everything is going with you. Why do you think our internet histories are always saved? Why do you think everything we text and type? If for those of you who don't know this, here's a kicker. Everything you type or text doesn't just hit one, what do they call? Poles? Like the towers, the information towers, the internet towers. They hit several. So all your data is constantly recorded multiple times just in case that one fails. That there is always a trace of what you're doing at all times. Always. Have you ever used, have you ever used the phone? You know, like when you're on your phone and you check like, hey, I want to go someplace with Google Maps, and you check on Google Maps or even Apple Maps, whatever you're trying to use, yada, yada, yada. You're searching around. You know that there's a function within Google Maps where you can actually see where you've walked. Yeah, it's all saved. I know a lot of people didn't know that. A lot of people were showing this when we were all told to stay inside of our residences in 2020 and 2021 because people were going on long walks. They were trying to get outside, going for walks anywhere that they could. And people were showing online, they were like, I didn't know this feature existed. Everywhere that you've ever been, as long as you've had that app, has been recorded. I repeat, everywhere that you've ever walked while you've had that app has been recorded. Can you guess who has the information? Yeah, that's right. Exactly. So the idea is to have complete and total control. You need to have a digital currency as well, because there are some people who are still choosing to use, paper money, or even, finding other ways to use cryptocurrencies, yada, yada, yada. But that's not what the government wants to see. So, yeah, Brazil hasn't, and I assume that next year is going to be the big year. We've heard since around 2019 that 2023 is meant to be like the rollout year for central bank digital currencies. And I think we're going to see a very large portion of them beginning to roll out in the very near future. It's just a matter of if people are smart enough not to actually use them. Because, listen, I mean, we don't have to go over it, but you understand what I'm alluding to. So yeah, a number of countries will be launching theirs next year. Brazil is planning on launching their central bank digital currency in 2024, just in time for Bitcoin's halving. Because, you gotta put a damper on it. Yeah, that's the Brazil news. Let's move on. Oh, it's snow now. Oh, that's cool update. As always, thank you all very much for liking, commenting, and supporting. I do hope that you've all enjoyed. I hope that you all are having a great holiday weekend. Whenever you're watching this video, I sincerely do hope it's absolutely fantastic. Make sure to do something fun for yourself. It's very important. You may have bought gifts for other people. Make sure to take a good 6 good hours out of a day and just do something that makes you smile, makes you happy, that, refocuses you or realigns you, because, life has been quite stressful the last 3 years. Isn't that crazy? It's been so. I was chatting with someone. I went to a party a couple of days ago, and I was chatting with someone, and she basically was like, yeah, isn't it crazy that it's been 1,000 days? And I was like, what are you talking about? Think about the event that happened in 2020. Yeah, that one. It's been over 1,000 days that we've dealt with that. Doesn't yeah, it's crazy, right? Over 1,000 days. Like, it's like, so yeah, make sure to do something fun for yourself as well. Thank you all once again for watching, liking, listening, commenting, supporting, and or clicking affiliate links. And I will most certainly be talking to you all soon. See you.